Welcome to Click, I'm Spencer Kelly, and welcome to the financial heart of London. That is the Bank of England, the place in charge of this stuff, the UK's finances. And although it's the job of everyone around here to keep things all ticking over nicely, of course recently they've had a tougher time than normal. The global economic crisis is hitting some nations really hard. Back in March, as Cyprus's economy teetered on the brink, its banks closed down for 2 weeks to prevent anxious savers from pulling out all their cash. But in the last few months, as economies have fallen, a new currency has begun to rise to fame: Bitcoin. It is the world's first digital currency, and what's really unusual about it is that it's not owned or regulated by any bank or any institution. You buy bitcoins with real money at online exchanges. Each bitcoin is a long, unique string of digits which is stored on your computer or your phone in a file called a digital wallet. But don't confuse them with things like Microsoft points or Facebook credits. These are simply online vouchers tied to real-world currencies with fixed exchange rates. Bitcoin has its own value, its own exchange rate, which fluctuates against other currencies. And also, even though it only exists online, it actually behaves a lot more like the physical cash that people trust. A transaction is as simple as me handing you these notes. It's a guaranteed payment, no middleman. As soon as you hand over the money, the deal is done.
There's a lot of advantages to taking Bitcoin over other payments, say for example PayPal or a credit card or any other form of mechanism short of a bank transfer, is that any other payment method can be reversed, which means if someone comes to your site, uses a stolen credit card, 3 months down the line after you've shipped the goods, potentially that could be charged back, you've lost your goods, and of course you've reimbursed the card company. With Bitcoin, all transactions are final.
And for those whose currencies have been restricted, like Cyprus, or whose currencies are devaluing, like Argentina's, Bitcoins have become a viable investment. Not that it's risk-free. No one is controlling Bitcoin's exchange rate, and that means it fluctuates wildly. When Cypriots started turning their euros into Bitcoins, the value shot up. After a cyber attack designed to manipulate the currency, its value crashed. The story of Bitcoin is a rather mysterious one. In 2009, someone calling themselves Satoshi Nakamoto published a paper online which declared that they'd worked out how to create a digital currency which was completely decentralized. There would be no mint to create the coins, no authority to regulate them, no banks to store them or check if anyone was forging or copying them. All of this would be done by the computer code which Nakamoto released onto the internet. But weirdly, no one knows who Nakamoto really is. All we know is that so far, the theory and the computer code seem to be working.
The way the cryptography has been implemented is very sound. The vision behind it is remarkable. A certain kind of genius. The mathematics behind it is mind-boggling.
Security expert Jacques Erasmus is one of those who've downloaded Nakamoto's code and become a Bitcoin miner. It's their machines which police the Bitcoin currency by verifying the transactions of others. Their job is to spot and invalidate forged Bitcoin serial numbers and attempts to spend the same Bitcoin twice. For this service, the miners get a transaction fee, a small percentage in Bitcoins. But the mining software does a second job too. It creates Bitcoins. Creating a new Bitcoin with a valid ID number involves trying trillions of combinations of digits in the hope of finding one that fits a certain pattern. It's mathematically very difficult, and intentionally so. Nakamoto's program is designed to use so much processing power that all the mining hardware in the world will only create a few Bitcoins between them every hour.
So this machine's been mining for like 4 days, non-stop, flat out.
Yeah.
And as you can see over here, it's mined 0.04 of a Bitcoin. So it will take you maybe a month to 40 to 50 days, I would think, to mine one Bitcoin.
That's not a very good rate of return. There are fast food restaurants that pay better.
There definitely are, yeah, no, that's for sure.
In fact, if you really want to mine at a decent rate, you need to buy tens of thousands of dollars worth of dedicated hardware. But the fact that Bitcoin behaves a lot like cash does present some problems. For one, the only place your Bitcoins are stored is in your digital wallet. How easy is it to steal a wallet from someone else's computer?
At this point in time, it's very easy. That is one of the main weaknesses in the structure at the moment. There's a lot of malware out there that contain keylogging capabilities that are actually purposefully looking for wallets, Bitcoin wallets, and logging the associated passwords that unlock the wallet. So if you have those two pieces, the password and the physical wallet, you can load that wallet up in your own software and empty out.
The thing is, physical cash also has another, shall we say, advantage. It's anonymous. There's no record of who owns what or who paid who, if you don't want there to be. And Bitcoin ticks those boxes too. And that means it's the currency of choice on the black market. This is one of several websites offering drugs and other illegal services. You can only access it by using special anonymizing software, and you can only pay using the equally anonymous Bitcoin. And it's this association with crime that could be Bitcoin's downfall.
One of the reasons that people trust state currencies, for example dollars, is that they have some fundamental value. You know that at some point in your life you're going to receive a tax bill, and you know that the government accepts dollars in tax. So that means that everybody trusts that they're going to be able to use the dollar to do something useful. Bitcoin, the problem it faces is that lots of its uses are somewhat shady, and there's a risk that suddenly trust in the system collapses and the value of Bitcoin could quickly go to zero.
So, clever maths won't necessarily be enough for Bitcoin to become a real established currency. Ironically, it needs us to have confidence in it. Confidence which is, at the moment, hard to earn. If you use Bitcoins, we'd love to hear from you. If you accept them, if you trade them, if you've had some stolen, get in touch and share your experiences. We are click@bbc.co.uk, and we're also on Twitter, Facebook and Google+. Next